Hey there, Virgo. Thanks for tuning in. This is going to be a reading for the remainder of May 2025. So we'll see what's coming up for you in about the last week or so. And if this reading resonates with you and you'd like a personal reading, please feel free to check the description for my email. I'd be happy to do a reading for you. Let's see. For the end of May. Yeah, I think it'll be an important life structure shifting this month, or maybe set of structures. I think with the direction of turning away, basically of moving away from resistance, in the places that you have burdens in your life, I have a feeling that those are what are going to be holding your attention for this last week or so. Let's see if we, okay, interesting. Wow. Okay, big shift happening. So at the heart of your reading for the remainder of May, you've got the Six of Swords. You know, this feels like almost a heroic action that you're taking to shift the direction of your life, of your emotional life, of probably your interactions with family members, close ones, community, I think I said family. And yeah, it's like doing the thing that feels uncomfortable and scary, but kind of, I think because you've reached the point where you just don't have any options left anymore. You've been kind of fighting uphill for so long that it's like to go one more day kind of carrying all this burden or behaving in this way, it's like that's one day too long. You won't be able to do it. So then kind of the only real option is to let something drop, to kind of ease that load that you've been carrying for a while, and turn toward like a smoother feeling of life, less resistance, less control. It could be like, I don't know why business just kind of came to my mind, but I think business might be on your mind too. In your subconscious realm this month, you have the Four of Pentacles. This is suggesting that, I think you're aware that your resources, your energy is precious, and that where you direct it really counts for something right now, and you may be in a place where your resources are more limited than they would typically be. So I think there's kind of the deeper knowing in you that knows that you have to adjust in some way because you're just not working with the same resources that you had. And I guess what I wanted to mention earlier too is that the Ten of Wands is in your conscious realm for this month. This is kind of your day-to-day experience. And I think because the subconscious realm is kind of that's your intuitive knowledge that you can't carry on in this way anymore, even though your habit patterns are probably to want to continue doing this, or maybe your ego, or I mean, not ego in a derogatory or diminutive kind of way, but the way that you see yourself is to be someone who is capable of carrying this load for yourself and for other people. At this time, though, it just doesn't seem that is going to be sustainable. Yeah, your challenge for this month is going to be the Four of Wands. So this is, I think, kind of inviting that structural change, that real shift in maybe the chapter in your life as well. There could be a feeling of reaching a point where this exhaustion is just too much to bear. And this could be, with the 10s signifying endings or closings in tarot, this challenge could be inviting the next chapter, the next milestone, the next way of being that will be the experience of your life. And I think it's going to be a welcome change. I think you're going to feel a surge of freedom once you can kind of let some of those old burdens go. Because your advice for this month is the Chariot and the Ten of Cups. This is very bright, bright future type energy. A lot of yellows, a lot of blues, spaciousness, fulfillment, emotional satisfaction, connection with people, probably your sense of community as well. Even your feeling of freedom to move around in the world. There's a sense of being blessed with this time of openness, where almost like a reward for putting some of this down is going to be the feeling of freedom and exploration. There's a real adventurousness that you're advised to kind of lean into or invite for yourself, and maybe just take a moment to really imagine yourself as a more divine sort of being. And this could be the kind of the totality of who you are. Maybe the feeling of life has been kind of quite small and with a lot of drudgery to it. But if you can begin to imagine yourself in this almost a more cosmic way, a figure who is not limited, who is imaginative, and a very a rich imagination. I think you're even being called to imagine the kind of home life that you would like. If this needs to be revamped, these relationships in your household or where you live, it could be very important for you to be the one to begin imagining new ways of being and new ways of relating to these people. And you may find in some way that if you do that, you may come across some tougher truths, which kind of place you as being the person who was holding back the closeness of relationships, or some sort of withholding that you were doing, or even just preoccupations in just the routine of life, and being kind of swept along with the stresses and the kind of the external world's demands. It may have prevented the family and close friendship connections that you want to experience. And there's no shade or anything about that. That's a part of life that everyone experiences. But the point is, though, that if you begin to imagine a more fulfilling way to be, especially, and really imagine for yourself a way of life that has way less friction, less chaos, less resistance, This is at the heart of matters for this month. So or for the rest of this week or so. So it may begin by feeling sort of hazy or unclear. Even you may have fear about making these changes, kind of letting go of a certain amount of control, maybe even depending on other people in ways that you typically wouldn't. And that's almost leadership in and of itself, is kind of recognizing where you can't do it all the time, and that other people may have to sort of, and I think other people want to chip in as well to help you and to help the flow of life around you. Like this feels like the changes that you make are going to be felt by you in a very personal way. Your sense of freedom and expansiveness is going to be very felt by you and very appreciated by you, I think, if you can really allow yourself to begin imagining differently. And it's going to be felt by the people around you as well. There's a real intimacy that I feel kind of opening up in this reading. You kind of have the end of this chapter of burdensome turmoil, or not turmoil, labor, like a very laborious way of living. And then the kind of emotional fulfillment, kind of the fullness of experience that you can have simply by letting some things go. It's like every little bit that you can let go is going to have like exponential amounts of happiness or well-being on the other side of it, on the other side of doing that very courageous, dropping of the heavy things, whatever those are for you. Let me take just a minute to maybe clarify some of these elements. This was a reading where it felt important to just lay the groundwork all out, all of the different realms of life for you this month. So you've seen what you're working with now. Let's see if we can get a little bit more clarifying information on this Ten of Wands. What kinds of burdens may you be kind of habitually trying to maintain, but also wanting to put down? It's like, wow, what patterns are trying to break? In just a second here. Why is the Ten of Wands in the conscious realm this month? This is a tougher clarification. So the Ten of Wands in your conscious realm is clarified by the Ace of Pentacles, the Hierophant, and the Six of Pentacles. So maybe intuitively feel for yourself what it is that's making carrying all of these burdens difficult, when there seems to be a lot of very positive, supportive energy, around you that you're very aware of. Maybe the challenge will help us clarify this a little bit more, but I guess my feeling is and maybe I've been thinking of this sort of in a negative frame, that it doesn't have to be negative. With this kind of awareness of how overworked, tired, and burdened, even confused that you are, I think you'll be encountering like big opportunities and strong connection with your spirituality, your higher power as well, and even the kinds of gifts that you're called to give to the world, the way that you interact with people. Man, I'm gonna again just kind of let you feel the Ten of Wands is your day-to-day kind of experience, and these are your clarifiers. I guess as I'm looking at it now, let's go to the challenge, because I don't know if these opportunities are what is making if your burden is difficult to put down in order to make room for these opportunities, or if these opportunities are helping kind of shine a light on the things that you need to put down if you want to take advantage of them. Kind of what is this? I don't know the spirit of how these opportunities are playing with kind of how overworked you are right now. So let's see in the challenge with the Four of Wands. Why is the Four of Wands the challenge this month? That was quick. Yeah, okay. I think there's a tension between kind of keeping up the status quo, keeping things balanced, particularly monetarily. Money could really be on your mind at the moment, as well as your kind of emotional well-being, kind of being able to weather the ups and downs of hardship and ease this month. But then also this wealth of opportunity that seems to be showing up here too. And maybe it's like not feeling like you can actually put something down in order to take advantage of something new coming in. And it's like there's a lot of big new kind of energy coming in of opportunity. And it seems like it's really going to be in your face. But yeah, it's there's tension between maintaining what's here and exploring, other options, other ways of being, and particularly ways of being that I don't think you've imaged for yourself yet. To kind of go back to that encouragement to imagine who you want to be, and even in a very romantic or fantastical sort of way, to allow yourself to start building that image of the new you, a very new you, is what you're going to need, because I think that's why it's going to be very difficult to know what opportunities to take advantage of if you don't have a strong identity, a strong sense of self. It's almost like if that is not clear, your opportunities and what you should chase are not going to be very clear either. And it seems like you have enough awareness though that you don't want the world to just dictate, your blessings all the time or your hardships. It's like I feel that you want to have a more active role in the co-creation of your life with that higher power. And I think that that's available to you too. Let's see if we can get some clarification on your advice. So just to remind you, that's the Ten of Cups and the Chariot. Why are these very expansive energies your advice at a time when there's some tension between keeping up what you've been doing and entering the new chapter of life. Yeah, I mean, I think to sort of echo, there's again that intimacy between you and the people around you, and where the changes that you make are going to be very felt by other people as well, felt by you in a strong personal way, and felt by them as well. So yeah, again, there's a lot of people here, and so your advice is clarified by the Tower and the Two of Cups. So this is a pretty big shift to your foundations. There's a lot of structural theme in this reading as well. Kind of the structure in your challenge of this like new chapter, this sort of building a new structure and foundation for yourself in some way, and a foundation that's crumbling here. And I would say it will be specific to you, but that foundation will be characterized by like the old way of worrisome thinking, of kind of fighting, of resisting the flow of things, kind of feeling like there's always something in life to be fighting against. That sort of structure of life that has kind of characterized your experience lately, that's going to be dissolving, and it wants to dissolve if you allow it. And what's going to be helping you through that transition and moving into the next chapter is going to be trusting in people and an open-heartedness. Because I think that whatever opportunities that are presenting themselves, it seems like the ones that will serve you and allow you to connect with other people are going to be the opportunities worth inviting in or worth pursuing when they come along. Because again, there's a big theme of like the opportunities coming are going to involve other people and the exchanges, the energy that you want to give and also to receive. It's kind of like you wish to invest in other people at this time too. I think that there's like a leveling up of your whole world that's going to be happening, and you get to decide and invite in the people who are worthy, who you trust, who are going to help you in that transition. But again, there's a lot of kind of trusting in other people at a vulnerable time as well. I get the sense that this is a vulnerable time. So yeah, it's sort of like, and whatever these structures are, or the old kind of habits that are crumbling, it may not be an overnight kind of thing. It might happen little by little, but it will be helped by opening yourself to other people and sharing your feelings and being a good listener to them as well. There's this reciprocation of giving your gifts and also allowing others to give you gifts, kind of making space for one another. So just to kind of reiterate a little bit, really imagine that person that you want to be, and maybe like the kingdom around you, the place that you live, the people who live there, basically your world. Who do you want to invite in, and what is an ideal set of relationships for you? What does it feel like in your body to have very close, loving friendships, and maybe friendships or connections with family that you haven't had or you haven't felt in a deep way before, or just a new level of connection? So let's see if we can get some oracle cards to kind of highlight the themes of this reading. seems like you're going to know what to do. Even if there's some confusion in the mix, it's going to come to you. There's a lot of power that you have in creating, the life that you want right now. Oracle cards, that's what we're doing. Let's see here. Some oracle cards for Virgo. Man, I don't want to fight my intuition on it, but it's an interesting oracle spread for you. So I see the basically success in reverse here, innocence, and clinging to the past. So these energies might be kind of weaving in and around one another. This might not be sort of a linear experience of moving from a time of hardship to a time of ease and joy. It may be a little bit more dynamic than that, with certain breakthroughs or certain moments of peacefulness and connection happening, and then new realization about maybe some blockers that you have or limiting beliefs in your life in some way. So let's read from the guidebook on these, and we'll begin with success in reverse, and I'll read success all the way through, and then maybe give some thoughts as to why this could be reversed for your oracle this month. And I'll show it to you upright as well. This character is obviously on top of the world right now, and the whole world is celebrating his success with a ticker tape parade. Because of your willingness to accept the recent challenges of life, you are now, or you soon will be, enjoying a wonderful ride on the tiger of success. Welcome it, enjoy it, and share your joy with others. And remember that all bright parades have a beginning and an end. If you keep this in mind and squeeze every drop of juice out of the happiness you're experiencing now, you'll be able to take the future as it comes, without regrets. But don't be tempted to try to hold on to this abundant moment or coat it in plastic so that it lasts forever. The greatest wisdom to keep in mind with all the phenomena in the parade of your life, whether they be valleys or peaks, is that this too will pass. Celebrate, yes, and keep on riding the tiger. So maybe in some way you're denying. It could be that you're denying a success that you've had recently, or not really opening your heart all the way to seeing the way that you've succeeded, or it could be a victory you've had that's mixed with some hardship actually as well. So maybe like something happens to relieve some pain, or to kind of lighten your burden, lighten your load a little bit, but it feels like a real loss still. It's like there's a lot of loss, but then there's relief as well. So it could be a very tender time, especially at this beginning here. Like, I get that maybe this tender time is sort of more like right now. And maybe feel intuitively into this. Like, are there ways in which maybe you've achieved a success and are scared to start this new chapter, for fear or whatever the reason may be. So just kind of maybe look a little bit more gently and curiously at the successes in your life and see if they feel a little more fulfilling to you, and a little more empowering as well. Okay. So next, you have innocence. The old man in this card radiates a childlike delight in the world. There's a sense of grace surrounding him, as if he's at home with himself and what life has brought. He seems to be having a playful communication with the praying mantis on his finger, as if the two of them are the greatest friends. The pink flowers cascading around him represent a time of letting go, relaxation, and sweetness. They're a response to his presence, a reflection of his own qualities. The innocence that comes from a deep experience of life is childlike, but not childish. The innocence of children is beautiful, but ignorant. It will be replaced by mistrust and doubt as the child grows and learns that the world can be a dangerous and threatening place. But the innocence of a life lived fully has a quality of wisdom and acceptance of the ever-changing wonder of life. And I get the sense that maybe there's a wider audience that could be tuning into this one as well, because I feel a real sort of surge of energy around kind of that ever-changing wonder of life. Kind of at different stages of life, you still get to experience innocence and childlike wonder. So I hope that you can find some space to allow that for yourself too, wherever you may be in your life. Excuse me. There we go. Clinging to the past. The figure pictured in this card is so preoccupied with clutching her box of memories that she's turned her back on the sparkling champagne glass of blessings available here and now. Her nostalgia for the past really makes her a blockhead and a beggar besides, and as we can see from her patched and ragged clothes. She needn't be a beggar, of course, but she's not available to taste the pleasures that offer themselves in the present. It's time to face up to the fact that the past is gone, and any effort to repeat it is a sure way to stay stuck in old blueprints that you would have already outgrown if you hadn't been so busy clinging to what you've already been through. Take a deep breath, put the box down, and tie it up in a pretty ribbon if you must, and bid it a fond and reverent farewell. Life is passing you by, and you're in danger of becoming an old fossil before your time. So, I mean, I hope that didn't land too harshly for you, but I do hope that it moves something in your heart really to kind of lean into that innocence of this moment. And that you can be born new. You can let those old, very kind of tired experiences kind of go. You don't need to continue carrying them in the same way or kind of ruminating on them, especially. I think that maybe that mental rumination could be a bigger challenge for you than maybe you've given it credit for. But those patterns can break, and it seems that the conditions are here for them to break. So just remember that you are a successful and praiseworthy individual, and you are welcome to enjoy the success and the abundance of this world, of this experience on earth. I know that got a bit cosmic, but really there's a lot of experience still to have, a lot of new experience, and as much as you can kind of allow that in and celebrate the new chapter, do the mourning and the letting go that you need to do from the past, in service of the you that wants to be born right now as well. A very playful you, that cherishes the people around you, and I think that you will be able to lean into this new phase and open up and trust the loved ones in your life. So I wish you a beautiful remainder of May, and I will talk to you again soon. Thank you.